Heartless woman adopts baby only to harm and kill her. On a chilly evening in November 2015, a distressed 911 call captured the attention of an experienced dispatcher. The voice on the other end was fraught with urgency, a woman named Jennifer, describing in frantic tones that her daughter was struggling to breathe, choking on a chicken bone. Despite her efforts using her fingers and even a butter knife, her attempts to dislodge the obstruction were futile. The dispatcher responded with calm precision, instructing her on how to administer CPR, each step a critical beacon in the night of panic. As the minutes stretched into what seemed like an eternity, Jennifer's hope waned, culminating in a haunting silence just as the paramedics arrived. They found the child unresponsive, her condition not aligning with a typical choking accident. The injuries she bore painted a grim tableau of deeper, darker secrets. Further examination by the emergency responders unveiled disturbing signs, bruises and marks scattered across the young girl's body, telling a tale far removed from the frantic narrative Jennifer had provided. Each new discovery added layers of complexity to the case, raising chilling questions about what truly transpired that fateful night. As the paramedics pieced together the unsettling evidence, the figure of Jennifer herself became increasingly enigmatic, her account crumbling under the weight of physical contradictions found on her daughter. The child, identified as Layla Marie Daniel, was born on July 18, 2013, in Georgia, USA, to parents Tessa Daniel and Anthony, both of whom had confronted formidable challenges from an early age. Tessa's journey into motherhood was shadowed by her past entanglements with the child welfare system, having navigated a childhood fragmented by stays in various foster homes. Anthony's past mirrored hers in its hardships, marked by personal struggles and a lack of stable grounding. Together, Tessa and Anthony sought to forge a new path, a family bound not by their turbulent histories but by a shared future. Yet the reality of their union was fraught with volatility, their aspirations for a serene domestic life eclipsed by the shadows of substance abuse and recurrent legal trouble. This backdrop of strife set the stage for a household steeped in instability and fraught interactions, far from the haven they had hoped to create for Layla and her older sister, Millie. Concerns about the children's welfare prompted regular interventions by Child and Family Services in Georgia. By the time Layla was 1 year old, the family dynamics had grown increasingly troubled due to Tessa's escalating substance abuse problems, which eventually necessitated her hospitalization for treatment. As Tessa grappled with her addiction, the stability of her home life continued to erode. During this tumultuous period, Millie went to live with her grandmother, while Layla found a temporary home with a family friend named Cynthia Tate. Cynthia provided a nurturing and stable environment, a stark contrast to the chaos that characterized the girls' early lives. Despite Cynthia's dedication, the situation deteriorated further when Tessa was arrested in January 2015 for methamphetamine distribution, leading to a 3-month prison sentence. During Tessa's incarceration, Anthony, Layla's father, also found himself behind bars, compounding the instability in their children's lives. In their parents' absence, Millie and Layla were once again placed under the care of their grandmother and Cynthia. Upon her release, Tessa moved in with Cynthia but continued to struggle with her addiction, failing a mandatory drug test set by Family Services. This failure prompted the authorities to place both Millie and Layla into foster care, entrusting them to Loretta Brown, an experienced foster mother dedicated to providing a secure environment for the sisters. By May 2015, at 21 months old, Layla, along with her 4-year-old sister Millie, had experienced the care of several foster homes. Social services worked diligently to secure a stable long-term placement for the girls while navigating the complexities of the foster system. Meanwhile, Tessa, still battling her demons, remained engaged in the adoption proceedings. She was determined not to lose her daughters and hoped to eventually reunite with them after achieving full rehabilitation. The sisters' journey through the foster system took a new turn when they were placed with Jennifer and Joseph Rosenbaum. The Rosenbaums, eager to provide care, had not been formally designated as foster parents by an agency, but took the girls into their home. Jennifer, then 27, shared a similarly turbulent past with Tessa. Having been raised in an unstable, often violent home environment, her mother's struggle with addiction and ensuing abusive behavior forced Jennifer into foster care at the tender age of 9. Jennifer's path was fraught with challenges, including difficulty controlling her anger and recurring altercations. However, she eventually found a sense of direction, completing high school and serving in the Army. Her ambition led her to pursue a law degree, earning respect within her community, and even securing a position interning in a district attorney's office. Her public persona was one of resilience and achievement, highlighted by appearances on television and in community events. In 2009, Jennifer's life intersected with Joseph Rosenbaum's in a significant way. They had met earlier within the foster care system, and their friendship blossomed into a romantic relationship. By the time they married, Joseph had embarked on a career as a corrections officer. Their partnership was marked by contrasting personalities. Jennifer was assertive and often controlling, while Joseph, who battled cystic fibrosis, was noted for his gentle demeanor and reserved nature. This balance of traits shaped their relationship, painting a picture of complementarity amidst their individual struggles. Jennifer leveraged the complexities of her situation to sculpt a persona of resilience and redemption on social media, portraying herself and her husband Joseph as valiant survivors of personal adversities. With Joseph's battle against cystic fibrosis, a condition that often reduces life expectancy and complicates fertility, Jennifer was particularly driven to establish her own family, publicly declaring her unwavering resolve to do so. Despite their eagerness to adopt, their initial application to become foster parents was rejected after authorities linked her to previous child welfare records under her maiden name, which included allegations of physical mistreatment. Unwilling to give up, Jennifer reapplied using her married name, hoping to conceal her troubled past. This application progressed to the point where she was invited to participate in foster parenting workshops and subjected to a comprehensive background investigation. Jennifer, however, bristled at the scrutiny, feeling her challenging upbringing and subsequent accomplishments more than qualified her as an adoptive parent. Her frustration boiled over during a tense phone call with the child services worker, where she lost her temper and made threats, resulting in the immediate denial of her application. In April 2015, a chance encounter at the courthouse with Tessa's grandmother provided Jennifer with an unexpected opportunity. She surreptitiously gathered details about Tessa's ongoing struggle with the adoption process for Layla and Millie. Armed with this information, Jennifer reached out to Tessa via social media, reestablishing their childhood connection and positioning herself as a benevolent figure willing to provide a stable and loving home for the girls. At the time, Jennifer was a rising star preparing to run for a county commission seat while finishing her third year of law school. Her public profile was that of a successful, well-regarded member of the community with a secure financial foundation. This image convinced Tessa that Jennifer and Joseph could offer a hopeful future for her daughters. Buoyed by this belief, Tessa urged the social worker handling her case to allow Layla and Millie to visit the Rosenbaums. The girls soon started spending time at their home, where Layla, at 2 years old, was notably nonverbal and had erratic eating habits, while 4-year-old Millie displayed a protective instinct toward her younger sister. During their visits to the Rosenbaum home, troubling signs began to emerge, meticulously documented by the sisters' temporary caregiver, Patricia Lambert. She observed that after spending time with the Rosenbaums, Layla and Millie would return with unexplained burns and bruises. Patricia diligently reported these alarming incidents to social services, yet her concerns were repeatedly dismissed. Persistently advocating for the girls, she even brought them directly to the agency, armed with photographic evidence of their injuries, but still, no meaningful action was taken. It was speculated that Jennifer might have been using her professional connections to influence the handling of these allegations, a situation compounded by her claims that the injuries occurred during visits with the girls' biological family, a misleading assertion that could have easily been refuted had Patricia's meticulous records been properly reviewed. The oversight of the system culminated disastrously on July 24, 2015, when a judge overlooking critical safeguards and necessary paperwork ordered that Layla and Millie be permanently placed with Jennifer and Joseph. This decision effectively bypassed the standard procedures typically required for finalizing adoptive placement. Once the girls were under her roof, Jennifer misrepresented the conditions of their placement in an email to Tessa, falsely stating that social services had mandated a no-visit period of at least 30 days to allow the girls to settle in. Even after this period, Jennifer concocted various excuses to further limit any interactions between the girls and their biological relatives, systematically cutting off family ties. Amid these manipulations, Jennifer was alerted to the news that Tessa was pregnant again. Seeing an opportunity to expand her custodial reach, Jennifer aimed to secure custody of this new child as well, which necessitated maintaining a veneer of cooperation with Tessa to avoid escalating tensions. Despite Tessa's residual trust and her frequent requests for updates and photographs of her daughters, Jennifer's responses were calculatedly sparse. Among the roughly 2,000 photos of Millie on her phone, She only shared the oldest ones with Tessa. When Tessa explicitly requested a recent photo of Layla, Jennifer hesitantly complied. The picture she sent revealed a fresh injury near Layla's eye, which Jennifer casually attributed to a daycare accident, an outright deception as Layla was not enrolled in any daycare facility. This false narrative served Jennifer's agenda to mask the true origins of Layla's injuries, maintaining control over the narrative and the custody arrangement. The case was closely monitored by a social worker who conducted monthly visits to the Rosenbaum home, aiming to document the girls' living conditions and to interview each child individually to gauge their physical and emotional health. Despite these efforts, the reports generated from these visits failed to raise any alarms about the girls' well-being. However, in August 2015, a vigilant neighbor noticed bruising around both of Layla's eyes. Jennifer quickly attributed the marks to Layla falling down the stairs and injuring her nose, but the neighbor, a nurse by profession, was skeptical of this explanation. She strongly urged Jennifer to take Layla to a children's hospital immediately. After hours passed without any action from Jennifer, the neighbor confronted her again, emphasizing the serious risks associated with head injuries in children. Jennifer then assured her that she would seek medical attention the following day. This pattern of concerning incidents persisted. In October 2015, Layla sustained a leg injury, which was later diagnosed as a fracture in the emergency room. Jennifer claimed the injury occurred during a gymnastics class at her grandmother's house, a claim that was later debunked when it was discovered that Layla was not enrolled in any gymnastics programs. The situation escalated tragically on the night of November 17, 2015, when Jennifer made a frantic 911 call reporting that Layla was choking on a piece of chicken. Over the course of more than 13 minutes, the 911 operator provided instructions for CPR, but Jennifer hesitated, fearing she might perform the procedure incorrectly. In her panic, she attempted to clear the obstruction with her fingers and even resorted to using a butter knife. Sadly, Layla passed away just moments before the paramedics arrived. The first responders attempted resuscitation to no avail and noticed additional injuries on Layla's body, including marks on her back. When questioned, Jennifer claimed ignorance about the origin of these injuries, referring obliquely to Layla's adoption. At the hospital, a thorough examination uncovered a disturbing array of injuries on Layla's body, prompting the medical staff to notify social services and law enforcement. Millie was also examined and found to have various bruises at different stages of healing across her body, on her hip, head, arm, and back, telltale signs of ongoing child abuse. Although Millie's injuries were less severe than Layla's, they raised significant concerns, prompting a thorough investigation by the police into the Rosenbaum household. The gravity of the situation led to Millie being promptly removed from the Rosenbaums and placed back under the care of Patricia. On November 18, 2015, an autopsy performed on Layla unveiled a chilling array of injuries, including multiple bruises and fractures throughout her body. The medical examiner concluded that Layla's death was caused by blunt force trauma to the abdomen, directly contradicting Jennifer's claims of an accidental choking incident. This revelation led to the immediate arrest of both Jennifer and Joseph Rosenbaum. Despite the severity of the charges, they managed to post bail and return home, sparking widespread indignation among the biological family members and community at large. The case also sent shockwaves through the local child welfare department, culminating in the dismissal of 2 social workers assigned to Layla and Millie's case. An internal review criticized their oversight, noting that their failure to heed numerous warning signs directly contributed to the neglect and abuse that ended tragically. In July 2019, the trial against the Rosenbaums commenced, laden with 49 charges spanning murder, aggravated assault, and child cruelty concerning both Layla's death and Millie's sustained injuries. Throughout the trial, Jennifer and Joseph maintained their innocence, pleading not guilty. Jennifer's defense argued that the injuries were accidental, allegedly caused during a desperate attempt to dislodge food from Layla's throat. The courtroom was riveted by Millie's poignant testimony, which detailed recurring physical punishments meted out by Jennifer to both herself and Layla. Millie's account vividly painted a picture of the harrowing abuse they endured under Jennifer's care. In October 2019, after a highly emotional trial, the jury returned a guilty verdict. Jennifer received a life sentence plus an additional 40 years, while Joseph was sentenced to 50 years with 30 years in prison, followed by 20 years on probation. Following her sentencing, Jennifer sought to appeal her conviction, citing ineffective legal representation. However, Her appeal was ultimately rejected by the state Supreme Court in March 2023. The tragic outcomes of Layla's case and Millie's traumatic experiences ignited a fervent public discourse on the adequacy of foster care systems and child protection laws, underscoring the dire consequences that can ensue from failures within the child welfare system. Thank you for joining us on Unreal True Crime. If you are captivated by gripping mysteries from around the globe, be sure to explore our new channel, Latin Crimes, where we delve into the compelling true crime stories from Latin America. Subscribe today and don't miss out on our upcoming thrilling investigations.